everyone, I'm Lenore. I am the founder and shelter manager here at Piedmont Farm Animal Refuge, and we're going to go on a visit to meet some of our chicken residents. So come on, let's go. We have some excited chickens ready to meet you. This is actually a group of ladies who were rescued from a farm. Unfortunately, the farm did not want them because they were not laying enough eggs, and the farm was going to kill them. They actually put out information that we're going to shoot these chickens tomorrow. So they were really lucky because another great rescue in the area called Triangle Chicken Advocates heard about it and went and got them all to safety. And then we took in a bunch from them because we like to help each other out, and they had a lot of chickens from that rescue. So now they're happily living here. This is Marcy. Hi, Marcy. One thing you might have noticed is that one of the chickens, Rosebud, is wearing a little outfit. One of the problems that these chickens had was they weren't being fed properly, and they had to eat their own feathers to get enough calories. And so you might notice some with kind of scraggly tails or some that are missing tails. And poor Rosebud didn't have any feathers on her back or tail at all. So we gave her a little cape to cover that area. This is our newest resident, and her name is Ruby. And Ruby came from a family where the other chickens she was living with were unfortunately killed by predators. And the family realized they didn't have a safe setup for chickens, and so they were looking for a good home for her. And Ruby was very traumatized from what happened to her friends. In fact, she refused to sleep in her house, and she just wanted to sleep in a toolbox in the garage. So they said, we need to find a better place where Ruby can feel safe again. And she was just introduced earlier this week, came out of quarantine, and met all these new chicken friends, and she's really fitting in really well with the group. She's pretty happy now. All right, we're gonna go next door and meet the very first resident of Piedmont Farm Animal Refuge. So here we have a number of friends, including Robbie the rooster. Robbie came to the refuge in 2014 as the very first resident. So we have known each other the longest of all of the animals here. Robbie was actually an unwanted chick. He was supposed to be a female, ended up being a male, and because of that, his people said he can't lay eggs, so we don't really want him. And they also lived in a town that didn't allow for roosters to be there because they do crow quite a bit. They make a little bit more noise than the hens, and so some towns have regulations about this. And so we were able to take Robbie in and make sure he had a safe environment. What you talking about? Burr, 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 burr. And some of the other ladies in here are Dora, Rosie, Beatrice, and if we check out in the nest box, I think somebody might be in here laying an egg or sitting on an egg. Here's another friend. So this is the nest box, and chickens like to have a private area when they lay their eggs. So they'll kind of look around and say, which one do I want to choose? And they'll make sure it looks just right, and then they'll climb in there and take their time. And you can see that down low we have another egg that someone else has laid. Now, what do we do with all the eggs that come from the chickens at the refuge, we actually return them back to the chickens. And today, Bay 1 had a special egg mash, and we'll go see if they have finished it or what's left in the bowl. But the nutrients from these eggs are really important for the chickens. They love eating them, and they can replenish a lot of the calories and the nutrients that they lose from laying so many eggs. So let's go see how they've done on their egg bowl. So this bowl was full to the top this morning, and it looks like they've almost finished it off. You can see that in addition to the inside of the egg, we also provide the shell in little pieces, and they can eat that, and it also provides all those nutrients that are in the shell itself, such as calcium, that they have to pull from their own skeletal system every time they make an egg. So it's really important for them to get that back. Okay, so we're going to go over on the other side of the chicken house and see who else we can meet. Hi, Bruno. Here's some turkey friends. And Miss Cherry lives next door, but she loves to come over here and hang out with the turkeys, scratch around, share a snack. It's pretty cute. Hi guys. So in here we have Roma. This is Tony. Some other chickens who are wandering around in their jungly habitat. I see one who's in the shade over there. And then we have Charleston. Charleston is a little rooster who enjoys being snuggled usually. He likes to be held. Oh, thank you for preening me. He was found in Greensboro, North Carolina, in the middle of a road, and he actually had a broken back and was not able to walk. Oh, yes. Luckily for him, someone found him in the road and gave us a call. And so Charleston, being a bird, was able to heal that injury in his back and learn how to walk again. He sometimes walks with a little funny gait, but that's okay. And yeah, all he needed was some medication, some physical therapy, and he's doing really well. And he loves to get earlobe rubs. Yes. A lot of people maybe never have snuggled a chicken, but a lot of chickens can be very loving and social if they feel that humans are nice to them and they feel safe with them. Chickens actually have a very good memory for faces. They can remember around 100 faces, and that could be other chickens or other animals that they know, or people in their lives. So if they know you and they trust you, they definitely like to hang out and share some snuggles. Chickens also have a vocabulary of around 30 words, and you may hear them make all sorts of little peeps and chirps. But one word that Charleston often likes to make is a word that means, I found food that I would like to share with everyone. And it's very nice of him. He's a gentleman. Humans have coined this word that's in the chicken language, tidbitting, which I think is pretty funny. But what happens is he will find a bug or extra special treat that he wants to tell everyone about, and he'll make a particular call and make a little head bob kind of up and down, and then everybody comes running and they know exactly what he's saying. So he's a very sharing kind of guy. Now in nature, chickens originate from a bird from the Southeast Asian rainforest. And that bird is still alive today. They're called the red jungle fowl. I encourage everyone to Google red jungle fowl, and you may find a picture of a bird that you think looks like a chicken, in fact, very similar to Charleston, who we just met. So when you think about chickens being tropical birds, that may not be something that you ever learned before or ever thought about before. Obviously, here at the refuge and at other sanctuaries in the U.S., we're not living in a jungle, we're not living in a tropical climate, but we can do things that can help chickens feel more comfortable. So we tried to plant at the refuge a variety of bushes and trees, as well as just letting some things in nature grow up. You can see Cherry here is enjoying a bush that we put in. And this gives them a sense of security. They don't like to be out in an open plain as much. They like to have little hidey places where they can burrow down. All right, to end the tour, I want to go visit with one more group of chickens. And so we're going to head through the chicken house. You might be wondering what's up with the wind chimes. Here at the refuge we have a daily enrichment program. So it could be that the chickens listen to music, or today listen to wind chimes. They might get a special treat they have to hunt around for. They might see their reflection in a mirror. We tried to vary with all sorts of different things that can stimulate their senses and help them from being bored. So we're going to go around the wind chime. Hello, ladies. Hello. So here we have some older hens who have been living here at the refuge for around 5 years. These friends actually are the type of chicken that is typically raised for meat. And you might notice that they are a little bit rounder and larger than some of the other chickens that we have met so far. They're also very friendly and loving. Some of these ladies actually fell off of a truck on the highway, and they were on their way towards a slaughter market. So it was very good timing for them to fall off, even though that was probably a very scary thing, and it saved their lives. Hello? Yes. And I can see that Rogue is over there in the nest box, probably working on laying an egg. Hello. So we hope you enjoyed your tour to meet some chickens. If you have questions about chickens, please comment and we will reply to your questions. And if we don't know the answers, we will look them up. And we hope you'll continue to tune in all week for the rest of the fun activities. We're going to have how to draw a chicken, we're going to have chicken story time, and more. Thanks so much.